I'm confused as to whether I am misunderstanding the challenge.
You pick your two, and if you seem like you're totally off, I'll let you know.
I'm very confused. Give me a second.
Hi, I'm Joe from As the Joe Flies.
And I'm Leslie from Trips with Tykes.
And welcome back to Disney Deciphered. So we're going to have fun on today's episode. We are going to do a bit of a draft. Before we talk about that really quickly, patreon.com/Disney Deciphered. If you'd like to support the podcast, paid subscribers receive ad-free episodes and bonus content. Access to our Facebook group, which will be marginally relevant today. So thank you to all of you who subscribe and who have subscribed in the past. All right, Leslie, football season is in full effect unless you're a New York Jets fan, in which case your season is already over because we have lost all six games that we've played fantasy football. I stopped playing because it was too rage-inducing. But I do love a draft. So we're going to do a fantasy draft today of Lightning Lanes. Do you want to say a little bit about some of the parameters about what we're going to do in this draft today?
All right, we thought long and hard about the parameters in our, faux fantasy draft.
There's quite a debate, really.
There's quite a debate. So we're going to draft a total of 8 Lightning Lanes. So we're going to fill a typical Disney World day for a typical guest with the best combo of Lightning Lanes possible. Now, we're going to have to sort of comply with some of the rules of how a normal guest would pick their Lightning Lanes, because we're going to make people choose a starting park, and we're going to actually do a little bit of a random pick right now. We don't know, as we're recording the start of this episode, what our starting park is going to be. So you've got to pick the 3 Lightning Lanes in that starting park. And of course you have to abide by tier rules if that park has tiers. So, 1 tier 1, 2 tier 2s. And you can also choose up to 2 Lightning Lane single pass attractions as your 8. So have I gotten all the rules right? Close to it?
And then we're going to do a snake draft. So whoever picks first, they go first, but then the next person gets 2 in a row, et cetera, et cetera. I think, Leslie, let's roll for park that we're starting in, and then we'll roll for, I think whoever wins the roll between the two of us can choose whether they want to pick first or second. And let's go with that. All right, so let me see if this screen share feature works. I'm going to share this screen right now. Leslie, you see that?
I can see it.
All right, so I'm going to spin. Please no Animal Kingdom. Let's go. All right, so we're spinning for which park to start at. Oh my gosh, of course. Of course, it's Animal Kingdom.
You jinxed it.
All right. So we're going to start at Animal Kingdom. Oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. All right, so we're going to start at Animal Kingdom, and then who gets to go first, Leslie or Joe? All right, Leslie, you have to pick. You want to go first or second?
Ooh, I'm going to go second because I like that second and third pick in the snake draft. So
all right, Leslie's going to go second. And what Leslie and I agreed is we're going to spend 3 minutes planning our draft strategy right now. It's not going to be 3 minutes on your time. It'll feel 3 seconds to you, but Leslie and I are going to pause right now to make some plans. All right, we are back. Leslie said her planning was useless, so that means she's going down because it was super useful for me. Not really. Animal Kingdom, definitely the worst draw that we could have gotten, but hey, we're here to have some fun. We're going to make a great day out of Animal Kingdom. Not that Animal Kingdom is a bad park, even though it's Leslie's least favorite park. It is because Lightning Lane wise, it's less important. But Leslie, we're saving a bunch of money because it's the cheapest Lightning Lane Multipass park. And a couple things we forgot to say, we will have park hoppers, obviously, to get to 8 Lightning Lanes. And we are utilizing weight magic. And so we're going to assume that for our first 3 Lightning Lanes, we can move them up as early as possible. And we're going to assume that we're going to be able to get every Lightning Lane. Although I heard it's been a busy weekend here with the long holiday weekend and fall breaks and stuff like that happening. I've heard that it's been a little bit rougher for weight magic than it is on a normal day. But, we'll say we're going on a moderate crowd day. I think we've got everything covered, right, Leslie?
I think so. I'm really anxious to hear what your first pick is going to be. That's why my planning was useless, because I go down totally different pathways based upon what your first pick is going to be. So we shall see.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what I am going to pick first. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to pick Navi River Journey first. And the reason why is not because it is I'm gambling. I'm gambling about what you're going to pick. Whatever. I'm not going to talk about my strategy until my next pick. But I need Navi River Journey because I need an early Lightning Lane that I can get off quickly and also start booking other Lightning Lanes in other parks. So I'm going to start with Navi River Journey. It's like a horrible first pick. This is like the Sam Bowie of draft picks with Michael Jordan going second. But you go ahead.
Okay, so I'm really curious. I'm really curious here because like I thought we were assuming that we were going to be able to get morning Lightning Lane times, so that like we're assuming that you can get something at 9 a.m. and get off of it. But
no, we are. But yeah. What I don't want to Kilimanjaro Safaris one. I'm like leaving myself space also to like rope drop something as well if I need to. I want to get on and off a ride as quickly as possible because even though theoretically, like I don't want to get on Kilimanjaro Safaris and be on my phone for like the first 10 minutes trying to set up my next Lightning Lane either, which is why I left that one. And I feel like Navi is the easiest to do. It just would have been, we should also say that we're only going to pick attractions that we know about. For example, we can pick Rock and Roller Coaster, but it's not the Muppets version. We can't pick Zootopia yet because even though it'll be out soon, like we haven't tried it yet. I guess we're gonna have to pick Dinosaur at some point, Leslie, even though it closes on February 2nd, just because, or I mean, at least it'd be an option just because there's so few Lightning Lanes in Animal Kingdom. But anyway, go ahead, Leslie. This Animal Kingdom has really thrown me for a loop. I'll talk more about my strategy later. But what are you gonna take for your two picks? Pick them in order too.
Okay, Joe. I'm very confused by your selection. I'm going to go in a totally different direction for my first pick. Because we're not picking in order, this is something I definitely want to do later in the day to devise the perfect Disney World day, and that is Cosmic Rewind. I think that's everybody's favorite ride, or like the vast majority of people's favorite ride here at the moment that we're recording this. Maybe, a couple years down the road, the bloom will be off the rose, but it's such a great ride. I want Cosmic Rewind as my individual Lightning Lane single pass, whatever it's called these days. So I want that on my agenda no matter what. Now it starts getting tricky.
Just a pause. That's a great pick. And we don't normally do outtakes, but I'll probably leave some of that in an outtake at some point, Leslie. I will say that I strongly debated doing a individual Lightning Lane or a Lightning Lane in another park first. So, I mean, I think your strategy is sound, and I was, we'll talk about overall strategy at the end, but I think that's a great pick, Cosmic Rewind. All right, so what's your second pick?
Okay, I think it's going to cost me a little bit when you pick your next two, going ahead and going on the limb with Cosmic Rewind, but I will live with it. Okay, next pick is tricky. Very, very, very tricky. But I'm going to pick Flight of Passage. Another individual Lightning Lane. Again, because it's such a great popular attraction. A little more universal appeal, I think, maybe even than Cosmic Rewind. So a lot of people who won't do like the craziest thrill rides will do Flight of Passage because it's so thrilling. But I know it's going to hurt me when you pick your next two, because there's not going to be much left in Animal Kingdom that's good once you pick your next two.
Okay, so now I can reveal my full strategy, Leslie. I was worried. So here's what I'm thinking about, right? Like, obviously, there's the option to essentially sandbag Animal Kingdom to make sure that the rest of your day is great. So Flight of Passage was my first thought for first choice, because I was like, I don't want to end up with nothing good in Animal Kingdom. But then I was like, you know what? I guess I can't fully reveal my strategy yet, but let me at least lock in one solid Lightning Lane Multipass at Animal Kingdom. And then I was worried that I was going to be stuck with Festival of the Lion King and Nemo as my other two Animal Kingdom. But now what you have set me up to do is, and then this is the other thing that I hid from you. I want Navi River Journey at 8:00 because I'm going to rope drop Flight of Passage. So if you took it from me, I was like, well, then I'll just plan in my day to rope drop Flight of Passage. And now I'm going to round out my Animal Kingdom Lightning Lanes so that I have all the good Lightning Lanes, or most of the good Lightning Lanes at Animal Kingdom. So I'm going to take Kilimanjaro Safaris and Expedition Everest. Just because I want to get on Expedition Everest. If I was at Animal Kingdom later in the day, I could ride that single rider. And actually, if you go early, you probably can still ride it single rider. So you'll be good there. But I want to just make sure that I have these lightning lanes and I have them early. And so I can start booking other lightning lanes from there. So I've got my Animal Kingdom rounded out. If you didn't take Flight of Passage, I was going to take Flight of Passage during these 2 rounds. So that's what we've got. So just so you know, I think you're thinking your strategy out soundly, and we're just coming at it from different angles. So I think that's what makes this fun.
Right. Definitely fun. And I will say, let's go on the record, Joe. You do tons of fantasy sports. This is something that I have never done. Although I guess I've done it by proxy because my husband was a big fantasy baseball guy until the Oakland A's betrayed him. So we've done a lot of fantasy sports in this household, just not me. I've only done them reluctantly. All right.
I'm just so you know, like I'm rusty because I stopped because it was too rage inducing. That's not a joke. It was like not good for my mental health. But that's why we're scratching this itch. Okay, Leslie, after you make your 2 picks, I will tell you whether I think you've made a mistake or not. But go ahead. What do you have next?
I don't want to reveal my strategy here because I think you're going to know it. I think you're going to know it. So
I already figured it out. I already figured it out, Leslie. I already know. Just because you said that, I already know. Don't answer, and I'm not going to look at the screen, so I don't need to see your reaction. But you are going to try to hit all 4 parks. That's your strategy. So I'm not looking at you right now, but that's my guess. But go ahead. Make your next 2 picks.
Okay. Next pick. Ooh. I am going to take Slinky Dog Dash because that is an incredibly popular ride. Like I'm stacking up some headliners here, Joe. Like you may have a solid core of attractions here in Animal Kingdom, but in the meantime, I've been going to other parks and stacking up headliners. So I'm going to take Slinky Dog Dash as my next pick. What do you think of that?
I think that's a great pick, and you have just totally messed with what my strategy was going to be. So I'm going to have to pivot a little bit, but what's your next pick?
Ooh, okay. I actually am deciding here on the fly based upon the chart that I have in front of me that is numbered and sorted by park. So I guess I'm done with picking individual lightning lanes. I've picked my 2. So those are off the table now. I've gotten another tier 1 in Hollywood Studios. I still have 2 more slots that I have to fill in Animal Kingdom. I've been to Epcot. I've been to Animal Kingdom. I've been to Hollywood Studios. I actually like your suggestion about going to all 4 parks.
What? That wasn't your plan? I didn't mean to give it to you then.
That was not exactly my plan, but it works with what my plan was. So I am going to take Peter Pan in Magic Kingdom because I haven't really gotten like a quality dark ride in here. And I want the ultimate day to appeal to a broad variety of guests. So I'm going to put in Peter Pan.
That's pretty fun. And now it's late enough. I was like, it would have been a huge, you don't play fantasy sports, but you are a lawyer. So I think you're logical enough to know you don't need to pick your Animal Kingdom ones now until your last 2 picks. This is like what happens, right? So if there's a talent deficient position, which is Animal Kingdom Lightning Lanes here, now that I've gotten all of mine, you don't really care. And for you, I think it's going to be, well, there's only a small amount of strategy you need for your Animal Kingdom ones. So good call there with Peter Pan. So my plan was going to be, I was gonna go from Animal Kingdom and then spend the rest of the day at Hollywood Studios. I'm debating whether I can still do that or whether I'd rather go somewhere else. You know what? I'm just going to go to the Magic Kingdom, target-rich environment there. Even if beyond my 8, I might be able to get more. So I'm going to go, I don't need to take Tron. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to take Tron later. But right now, I'm going to take Jungle Cruise because it's a lot of fun. And I'll go with your strategy of like doing different ride types. So I will take Tiana's now, even though it's not my favorite tier 1. I think it's good to have them both. So I'll take Jungle Cruise and Tiana's right now, hopping over to the Magic Kingdom.
Very, very interesting strategy. Definitely smart to leave Tron until the end. And like you said, that was my strategy, was to leave the rest of Animal Kingdom until the end in my picks, because there's no way you're picking any more rides in Animal Kingdom. Now, I really am curious though, if we were to do this with a different starting park, you might not be able to count on something like that, because if you're, say, like starting in Magic Kingdom, there might be a fourth ride in Magic Kingdom that would be in demand. So
Yeah,
definitely
I
changes
think
the strategy.
I think the other thing is, the funny thing about Animal Kingdom, I think it's made the decision making more interesting, because I would not have gone to Animal Kingdom at all. If I probably would not have gone to Animal Kingdom at all unless I was trying a four park thing. If we hadn't, you know, ended up on Animal Kingdom with the random draw. Let's take a quick break before we do Leslie's round 5, and then we'll close it out with the draft, the bottom end. All right, we're back. Leslie, you're here for round 5 and 6 for you. So you get the hairpin turn. What are you picking next? I think at this point, I feel like you know my strategy, and so you should be able to block me a little, but I think we're mostly divergent at this point. So it's just about building the best day for yourself.
Yeah, I think we're actually going down pretty different pathways at this point. So I'm trying to hit headliners in all the parks. I now have something in every park. So it's just about getting some other headliners that are really fun, that build a great Disney World day. So
Wait, do
I
you
am
need
taking.
to, I think you need to take, unfortunately, you're going to have to take one of your Animal Kingdom rides now. So this is like your last headliner, I think.
All right, so I guess I got to take one sort of dud at this point, but I'm going to wait. First, I'm going to take something really good, and I'm going to take Frozen Ever After. Again, ride that pleases the whole family, adults, kids who don't like crazy thrill rides. So I'm getting that demographic as well. And now it's just settling after this void. So I guess we said dinosaurs on the table. So let's just talk about what's left in Animal Kingdom. We've got Dinosaur, we've got Kali River Rapids, we have Feathered Friends in Flight, the Lion King show, the Nemo show, and that's it.
That's it.
So, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. All right, so I'm going to take Dinosaur. It's, a solid thrill ride. I think it got a bad rap in its day anyway, because it still is a fun attraction, much like Indiana Jones in terms of the mechanics. I like that it's a throwback. I mean, RIP in advance, Dinosaur. I'm going to make sure that I get one last ride on you.
Yeah, I think Dinosaur is the correct pick here. Just so you know, Feathered Friends in Flight, Finding Nemo, Festival of Lion King, the earliest showings are at like 10 o'clock. So I think your strategy is going to be decided for you, just so that you can start booking your next, you got all these tier 1s. We're believing that Wait Magic will get them for you as part of the premise. And so that's good. But you still, let's be a little realistic. You got to, get on something at 8 a.m. to get that going. All right, for my next 2 picks, I guess I'm going to stick in Magic Kingdom. So we discussed this, Leslie, offline before we did the whole entire thing. I'm going to take Big Thunder. I'm going to imagine that it has reopened by the time we're doing this. So Big Thunder Mountain. And then what do I want? Because my last pick is going to be Tron. You know what? I'll just take Tron now, and then I can think about what I want my last Magic Kingdom pick to be at the end. We're getting to the end where the draft kind of writes itself at this point. So I've got Big Thunder and I've got Tron here.
All right. I mean, that makes total sense to me. That's shaping up to be a pretty solid day. Although I will say, Tiana's is nowhere near anywhere in my top 20 attractions. So that is already wrecking the day for me in your list, but we'll see. All right, so I got 2 more picks to round out my day, and they've got to be an Animal Kingdom, and the obvious choice has to be Kali River Rapids. You and I don't love it, Joe, because we don't like getting wet, but a lot of people do, and let's just assume we're going in the summertime and we want to cool off. I mean, I guess we have to do it in the morning because it's an Animal Kingdom, but we'll do it not first thing in the morning when it's chilly. All right, so Kali River Rapids, got to do it, and then it's a tough call. Are we Feathered Friends in Flight? Are we Lion King show? Are we Nemo show? I have not seen Nemo, at least in a very long time. Was it
Yeah,
new? Was
it's the
it
new
new?
version.
This
It's
is the
like the
new one,
shorter
new
version.
version.
Yeah. So
Okay.
go check it out.
Okay. But Festival of the Lion King to me is a classic show. And I guess I'm the only person building a show into my day, at least right now. So I'm going to sell it like that. I'm building at least a show into my day. You and I don't like shows, but a lot of people do like having that chance to sit and take a break. And if it's hot, get some air conditioning and just see the amazing performers that Disney has. So Festival of the Lion King to me is a classic show. I love seeing it in Hong Kong Disneyland a long time ago. So I'm gonna go with that. What do you
Yeah,
think?
that's what I would have picked. It's a solid show. It's the best show and the best option left. It just you have to wait till 10 whatever, and that is the tough part, but other than that, I think you are good. For Cali, I honestly might just book the earliest time possible, tap in and then walk away. So that is not it's not the worst strategy. I'm going to close things out with Haunted Mansion. I was debating between Haunted Mansion and Space Mountain. Space Mountain technically a tier 1, but really ultimately unless I'm with my kids who are going to make me go on Space Mountain, I feel like the risk Haunted Mansion I'm going to enjoy more, and the risk of at least in the afternoon the line being worse, it's going to be worse at Haunted Mansion. So I'm going to go with Haunted Mansion. What I think we can do to close things out is let's recap our picks and then also talk about how we would expect the day to go. And so I'll go first since I didn't warn you about that. My picks were in Animal Kingdom, Navi River Journey, Kilimanjaro Safari, Expedition Everest, and then at Magic Kingdom, Jungle Cruise, Tiana's, Big Thunder Mountain, Tron, and Haunted Mansion. Oh, I could have taken Seven Dwarfs Mine Train if I wanted to, but I think I'd probably, maybe I would have, maybe Seven Dwarfs over Tiana's or Haunted Mansion. But you know what, Leslie? I saved $10 times however many people in my group. How would I expect my day to go? Like I said, I'll probably, in this theoretical day, rope drop Flight of Passage, get there, get to Animal Kingdom at like 7:10, 7:15, and then, get on Flight of Passage as soon as possible. As soon as I get a Flight of Passage, I'm assuming an 8 a.m. Navi River Journey, go on that, go from there, the bridge out of the back of Africa to Kilimanjaro Safaris, and then hit up Expedition Everest on the way out. In the meanwhile, I have Lightning Lane's booking in the background. Honestly, with this plan, I might just, after that morning, go back to the hotel, rest, since I don't normally road drop, have lunch, and then have Wade Magic or whatever, kind of stacking Lightning Lanes for the afternoon, because at that point I have 3 open. And so, because with Jungle Cruise, Tiana's, and Big Thunder Mountain, I can probably just get those in the afternoon, show up at 3 or 4, catch the parade, and then get whatever else I can get. I probably, in this plan, since if I'm going to wake up that early for Animal Kingdom, might build in some rest. So that's how I would basically imagine the day going. What do you think your day is going to look like, Leslie? You're going to be traveling a lot more.
Yeah, I traveled a lot more, but hitting some headliners in the process. All right, so I think I'm starting my day at a ride like Dinosaur because I want to get that first tap in Animal Kingdom, and that's an attraction that doesn't take too long, and then it's available at first thing in the morning. We know Festival of the Lion King won't be, so I'm gonna hit Dinosaur first to get that first tap going, so I can have Wait Magic start working its magic for my next Lightning Lane. Then I think I'll go to Cali River Rapids and then go over to Flight of Passage, get that done. I mean, I kind of could do either or with this. Maybe just in terms of crisscrossing the park, it makes more sense to do Flight of Passage first and then Cali. And then I'm finishing up at Festival of the Lion King because, again, we have to do that a little bit later based upon the first showtime. Then I'm hopping over to Hollywood Studios. And the reason I think I have to go to Hollywood Studios next is because I picked Slinky Dog Dash there. And that is like going to be the hardest Lightning Lane to get as like my 4th Lightning Lane. And I'm assuming this challenge is based upon assuming that Wait Magic is going to be able to get a Lightning Lane for Slinky Dog Dash. I mean, the reality is I think a lot of times it can't. Slinky Dog Dash is the hardest availability. But let's just assume the tech gods are shining down on me, and I will get Slinky Dog Dash. And then after that point, I could take a break. Like you said, I could take a nice long lunch somewhere, go back and take a break. And then I can hop over to Epcot, where we know that Weight Magic likely will be able to pick up a drop for Frozen Ever After. So gonna ride Frozen Ever After. I've also already pre-booked my individual Lightning Lane time for Cosmic Rewind, and that'll already be in my repertoire, so I won't have to worry about whether or not that can get booked. And then last but certainly not least, I'm going over to Magic Kingdom, and I'm riding Peter Pan at nighttime because I think it's extra magical when it's dark, going through that queue. And I guess I'm using the Lightning Lane, so I'm not going through the whole queue, but I think that's an extra special ride after dark. So
yeah, and you can do your favorite fireworks when it's all done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think the nice thing, there's flexibility. When we did the Weight Magic episode, I think I read that quote where they're like, oh, you can just see what we get and then go to the parks in order based on that, which I don't know if like I said, I still don't know if I would do it, but in your plan, you have the best possibility to do that. I wonder if one option is you could get like a super late Slinky Dog and end in Hollywood Studios and, try to get Peter Pan earlier or something like that. So I think you're right. Epcot you want that to be your third park, so that, because you're kind of based around where Cosmic Rewind is and Frozen Ever After. But, you're not as beholden to tapping in and getting later Lightning Lanes because you took 2 individual Lightning Lanes. So I think that's a good strategy overall. All right, so what we're going to do is, if you are a subscriber or a past subscriber, you're in our subscriber Facebook group, we'll put up a poll. You see what you think and let us know, who won the draft, and we can chat about that later. Tell us, I really wonder what we would have done if we had started at another park. Because, I'm surprised, Rise of the Resistance didn't make it on there. Like, if we had started Hollywood Studios, I was thinking, I would want second pick because I can guarantee either Rise or Slinky Dog, in that situation. So that would have been fun. And I actually thought about taking Rise of the Resistance first. Yeah, before you took Slinky Dog, my plan was gonna be Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, and I was gonna, on my hairpin, I was not gonna take Animal Kingdom stuff. I was gonna take Rise. I was assuming that you were gonna take at least Kilimanjaro or something like that, and I was like, at that point, my Animal Kingdom is sunk, so might as well build the other parks. And so I was gonna do like a Rise Slinky combo on the hairpin or something like that for my second and third picks. But that's why drafts are fun. Our strategies were different, and it went from there. Any thoughts you had on draft strategy, or ways I foiled you or did not foil you?
Well, I guess you gave me the inspiration to go to every park, so I think that was like a fun little addition that I wasn't really thinking about.
Should have kept my mouth shut.
I know, mistakes. But I actually, like you, I think it would be a much different list if we started in different parks. So I think we have to do this as like another episode a few months from now, maybe when we're looking to fill some gaps in the schedule around the holidays when we're both, crazy or something like that. So hopefully we'll get some feedback from our supporters in the Patreon group, and they'll let us know if this was fun, because I think there's just so many different ways to skin a cat with this based upon what your starting park is. And I'm really curious how a day would come out totally differently based upon what we started with.
Yeah, people may not have found it fun, but I bet you it was good for engagement. People are throwing their phones out the window when Navi River Journey, out of all things, is the #1 pick for Lightning Lanes. I did that.
Really confused me out of the gate. I was very convinced that I had misunderstood this challenge, but it worked out. It worked out for you.
It's like taking an offensive lineman early. Okay, no one knows who they are, but they're important.
Don't even know what an offensive lineman is.
They're the really big guys who block for the quarterback. Yeah. So, I shouldn't have insulted you. Of course, you know what an offensive lineman is. You're from Alabama. You gotta know. You gotta know. All right. So, quick Disney do. I think my Disney do for today is, with everything Lightning Lanes, you really do require a lot of flexibility. That's the sort of, the whole entire premise is made up, but I think that's the least realistic thing about this premise. You could pick the 8 Lightning Lanes that you think are most important, but the chance to get them all 8, it's usually pretty low. So you have to be ready to pivot, make decisions. Rides could break down, there could be storms and stuff like that. So it's just a reminder, Disney, do be flexible with your plans. Always be ready to move things around if you need to.
Totally agree, Joe.
All right. Let us know what you think. DisneyDeciphered@gmail.com, at Disney Deciphered, all over social media. Those of you in our Facebook group, please vote on our poll. Leslie, where can people find your work on the internet?
Tripswithtykes.com is the blog. I am at tripswithtykes everywhere on social media. Joe, where can folks reach out to you?
At As the Joe Flies, all over social media. Joseph Chung at travelmation.net if you're looking to plan a trip. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate it. And other than that, Leslie, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And I will see you adjusting your big board for the next draft.
Thanks, Joe.